This is the help video for Word Chapter 3, Pause and Practice number 2. We're beginning at step number 7. On the right, I have the instructions from your SimNet SimBook. On the left, I have the file as it exists at the end of step number 6. We're going to move to learning how to create sources and to create citations. And you want to do this so that you do not have any plagiarism within your document. So you want to know two different things. One is, what is a source and what is a citation? So a source would be the reference that you're actually using, the book, the web page, the interview, the journal article, right? So that idea, that where it came from, its source. Then a citation is within the document, you're making note of what source you used for that material. Okay, so you have to maintain your sources, or those books and all of the references that you used, and then you have to accurately put them within your document. And we're going to look at APA and MLA. Those are just two styles that you can use for making your sources and citations. Both of them are what's called parenthetical, which means that right within the paragraph you note or cite where that information is coming from. So the first thing that we're going to do is set that citation style that we're using, and that is in your References tab. There's this Citation and Bibliography group. Right now it's set to APA on my document. I'm going to switch it to MLA 7th edition. And so setting the right style helps a lot. It'll create your work cited in the proper style, which really, for anybody who's had to do it manually, it's a really a time saver that the document will generate. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new source and insert a citation. So we want to find the word schedule on page 1 in General Timelines. So we're going to go up to the beginning, General Guidelines, and then at the end of the first paragraph where it says the word schedule. So one of the things that you want to note is that you always put citations before the period. So you want to make sure that your insertion point is to the right of the last word and to the left of the period. And then so we're going to do insert citation. But look, we have no sources. We don't have anything that we're saying we're using. We can't cite it because we have to put it in. So we're going to do a new source of where we've got this information from. The first thing that you need to do is define what type of source it is. In this case, it's a book. So we're going to find a book. In the author, we're going to type Edward R. Burke. The title is The Complete Book of Long-Distance Cycling. The year, it was 2016. The city is New York. The publisher is Rodale Books. And then down here at the bottom left, you see the tag, it's pulling his beginning. We're going to, so it begins his name and then the ending year, but we want to change that to just say Burke. We want it to be his last name. So now we're going to go ahead and add that. And look, it added the source and it added the citation. So if I come up here to insert citation, look, now that Edward Burke book is in the list of sources that I can use. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and save. And now we're going to go to a situation where, let's say you're writing something and you know you got this from this Velo News magazine, I guess, web page. but you don't have all your stuff together, right? You don't know all of those pieces of information that go into setting up your source, but you want to make sure that you put that citation in there so you don't forget to come back. So that technique would allow you to put a placeholder in here and then know that you have to come back and provide more information. So on the first page, after the word speed in paces of rides, right here, paces of ride, century speed, we go after speed and before the paragraph, and we're going to insert citation, but it's not Burke, and I don't have it, so I can't do new source, but I'm going to put a placeholder in here so I don't forget. And that placeholder is going to be Velo News, right? That's where I'm getting it from. I just don't have all my stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and insert, and I get my Velo News there, which is good. So now, let's say some time has passed, you got your stuff together and you got all the information that you need for Velo News. So here's how we manage sources, or let's say you have all your sources and you just want to put them in, and then as you use them, they're going to be in that list you can pick from, right? Instead of having to do it as you're going. You know, you're writing, you just put your citation in. To do that, you can come up here to manage sources, and I want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. So over here on the right, do you see Edward Burke has a check mark in front of it? That means that that citation is, that source is complete and it's been cited in the document. Velo News has a question mark, means that we cited that information, but we don't have it complete. So we want to come back and fix that, right? So I'm going to click on that and I want to edit it. And this is like the #1 mistake for this document. Students come in and do another Velo News, they do a new one. You want to take that placeholder and edit it so that you can put all the information. So I'm going to move these. So I'm going to move this out of the way here. And I'm going to edit Velo News. And I know it's not a book. It is a document from a website. So I'm going to scroll down and find document from a website. Notice that the pieces of information change. And so it's a corporate author. It's not an individual. It's just somebody that's the Velo News staff did it. The name of the web page is Training Tips for Recreational, oops, got to do capital R, recreational cyclists. The name of the website itself that you found this was velonews.com. And the year that it was published was 2019. But then look, we have this year accessed. So this would be when you got this information off the website. And this is important with the website because particularly if they're from news sites, I mean, those sites change, right? So you want to make note of when you pulled this information off the site because it could go away, it could change location, those type of things. All right, so then I don't see URL. So I need to show all the fields, right? And it shows every field that I could possibly do for this source. The recommended ones are in, have a red star by them. That doesn't mean it's required, it's just recommended. So we're going to come down here and we're going to find the URL and we're going to put this information in here. velonews.com training_tips HTML. And honestly, you would just probably copy and paste that there rather than typing. Let's see if we have everything. So we have Velo News, training tips for cyclists, velonews.com, 2019, 2020, September 14th. Got the URL. We're going to go ahead and do OK. Notice that my Velo News now changes from a question mark to a check mark. And so I'm deciding, you know what, I'm in here. I know I use this Tom Chappell book. So I'm going to go ahead and just add him right now, right? So I don't, even though I haven't cited him yet. So I'm going to say new, and this is going to be a book. So I'm going to change this to book. The author is Thomas Chapel. It's, or chapel, I'm not sure. Base building for cyclists. 2017. City is San Francisco. Publisher is Velo Press. And I don't see this third edition, so I need to show my fields. Scroll down and find edition, third, and my tag name is not going to be that. I want it to be his last name, and I'm going to say OK. So now look at Thomas's book. It's in here in your list. It doesn't have a check mark, and it doesn't have a question mark because it's not in the document anywhere. It's just in your list. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up and return to my document. So now I want to go through and mark all the rest of my citations now that I have my sources in there. So we want to go to the second page. After rest day and before the period, so that's the second sentence of the first paragraph. So right there, rest day. We're going to insert citation, and then there they are, right? Super nice. They're all set up. We just have to pick them. So this is going to be the Thomas Chappell book. Then we're going to find training week on page 2 in duration of rides. So last bulleted item. So go after week before period. We're going to insert Burke. Then we're going to go to overtraining on page 3 under other heart rate factors. So right here, overtraining, insert, oops, wrong one, insert citation, Velo News, and we're good. So I'm going to take a second to save, and we're going to do the researcher to insert a citation. I'm sorry, we're going to skip that. I can do that because I have 365. You could probably do that at home, but we won't be able to do that in the classroom. So we're going to skip 12 and go to 13 to insert a bibliography and change the report style. So at the end of the document, Control End, I want to put a blank line, a blank page, because we always do the bibliography or the works cited on its own page. So I'm going to do a Control Enter. It's going to put a new blank document at the end. I'm going to go to References, this bibliography, and then they want us to pick references. But most of the time, guys, you really are going to do insert bibliography here. They want us to pick this style, this built-in style. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That is not actually the right look for MLA, but we're going to go with it because that's what the book says. We're going to center the word references. So I'm just going to go home, click center, and then apply a 10-point after paragraph spacing. So easiest way is layout, after. I'm going to change that to 10 points. And I'm going to save it for a second. And then they want us to change the style from MLA, so back to references, to APA. So one of the things that I want to show you, this is what really changes. So in MLA style, authors names are included first and last name. When I change it to APA, watch what happens. All of the authors just have initials. There's no gender attached to that name. You don't know if these are female or males. So it's more it doesn't play a role in it. Okay, so we're going to save. That's the end of Pause and Practice 2. All right, thank you.